Antoinette. Welcome back to another video. So if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Here we talk about anything that's going to make you smell good, look good, and feel good. I love talking about fragrances. I love talking about layering combos. So if that is something you're interested in, stick around, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the family, please click that subscribe button, and also let me know what you're wearing down below. If you do want to see my scent of the days, you can always go over to my community page or follow me on all my socials and you'll be able to see them there. Welcome to 2024, and if you are about to start your perfume collection, this is the guide that's gonna help you to find out what you like, what you need, and how do you start buying your perfumes. Now, when I started my fragrance collection, I already had a vast Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secrets collection, so I already knew the type of fragrances I was particularly into, but I just wanted to expand that more into perfumes and less body mist. So I now have two very large collections of body mist and perfumes, and I feel like I like to help persons, so I like to tell you guys, okay, look, this is how you want to start a collection. These are the type of fragrances you need to get if this is your type of Jushin vibe. No, a lot of people may just buy every kind of fragrance, but that's not me. I know for me personally, there are different sets of fragrances that I like. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So if that is something you're interested in, stick around, give it a thumbs up, and enjoy this video. Okay, so first and foremost, before we even talk about anything about perfumes, we're going to talk about the different groups of perfumes. So you have 4 different types of scents. You have woody, you have oriental, you have fresh, and you have floral. So those are the 4 groups that you're going to have. For me personally, I love a good woody fragrance, and I do like a nice floral when it's paired with a vanilla. So those are the 2 groups that I know I particularly like to dabble in. So those are the 4 types of groups that are going to come, but from those groups, you're going to have different types of subgroups of different types of scents that you can get. So from those subgroups, you definitely can have citrus. Of course, you're gonna have floral, you're gonna have woody, you're gonna have fruity, you're gonna have aquatic, you're gonna have fresh, you're gonna have spicy, and you're gonna have gourmands. So all of those different groups is what captures the different types of scents that you can get out of perfumes. Now, if you are a person who is more into spicy fragrances, I would not tell you to go for fresh, because fresh and aquatic is definitely going to smell like the sea, the salt, the air, the rain. It's just going to be all around fresh, and sometimes even smell like cleaning products. So spicy is definitely on a whole nother level. If you are into spicy fragrances, I definitely would suggest you go straight into Arabian fragrances, because I feel for me personally, they just know how to get spice well done. Now, when it comes to florals, you have different types of florals. So you have sweet florals, and then you have like really green floral fragrances. Green florals is definitely out of my book for 100%. Like, it's out of my book. I do not like really green fragrances, but I do like sweet florals. For example, today I'm wearing My Way by Giorgio Armani. That is a sweet tuberose fragrance, and it is a nice sweet white floral that I absolutely love. So those are the examples of different types of fragrances. Now, when it comes to fresh and aquatic and stuff like that, for me, those are definitely out of my book. I have not been able to really find a nice sweet or nice fresh kind of fragrance or aquatic or marine like fragrance that I can actually like. I don't know, saltiness is not really something for me. It almost smells a little bit off-putting for me. The only fragrance that I think that has a little bit of saltiness in it that I do like, or solar kind of vibe, is Coconut Sun, that by Seven Virtues. I think that's probably the only fragrance that has a little bit of saltiness in it that I can actually enjoy. So that is that. Fruity fragrances, definitely I love a good fruity. So you have different types of fruity. You have like a juicy kind of fruity. You do also have tropical fruity fragrances, and then you have fruity florals as well. So these are so many different categories, and that's why I say to people, if you are choosing to start a collection, don't just buy fragrances based off of what everybody is talking about. Find your type of niche or your type of area that you like. And of course, the best subsection of fragrances, we have gourmands. Gourmands are fragrances that smell like food or are food like or can represent what a food smells like. So for example, if you like ice cream and you want to smell creamy, or you want to smell like fresh baked cookies or something of that soft, there are a wide range of fragrances that you can get that out of. So soft is by Al Rehab, that is a fragrance that smells like lemon cake. You do have Chocolate Musk that smells like fresh baked cookies, Cosmorati that also smells like lemon pound cake. You do even have Bath and Body Works scents that smells like gourmands as well too. So that is a wide range of like fragrances, but they all have food like or smell like food. So now that we've gotten down about all of the different groups of fragrances, the fruity, the fresh, the florals, the gourmands, we're gonna now talk about the different concentrations in fragrances. Now, a lot of people don't really understand this, so I'm definitely just gonna go into all of the details for the different concentrations. So the first one I'm going to talk about is parfum. So parfum will contain between 15 to 40% of fragrance, and then a 20 to 30% of alcohol. So that is what makes up the different types that you see on your actual fragrance. So you'll see like eau de toilette, eau de parfum and stuff like that. So that is what parfum is. Eau de toilette now is a concentration of perfume between 5 to 15%. So for the eau de toilette, you may not get as much longevity out of it because it does not have as much perfume extract in it, meaning the oil is not as concentrated. Eau de cologne, that now only has about 2 to 4% of perfume oil in it, so you do not expect that to last on you long either. Then you're gonna have perfume extrait, which is the highest concentration of a perfume, and that has purely oils in it. Even when you spray it onto your skin, you will just see pure oil on your skin, and that is my favorite concentration because you know that is going to last really long on the skin. So those are the different concentrations, and that's what's going to help now what we call sillage and longevity. So sillage is basically how widespread the fragrance is going to be inside of a room, and longevity is basically how long a fragrance lasts on you. I particularly like my fragrance to last on me between 8 hours. You do have some persons who like their fragrances to last on them until up to 12 hours, but for me personally, 8 hours is just a perfect time for me. You do have fragrances like, for example, like a Kayali fragrance. A Kayali fragrance may last on you for about 4 hours. So I always tell people, fragrances that only last on you for a short period of time, wear them to places where you know you're going to only be there for a short period of time, because that is what makes sense, right? So Kayali fragrances, they don't particularly last for like 12-16 hours. They're only going to last for 4 hours. So wear that in a setting where you know you're only going to be there for 4 hours. Now, like an Arabian fragrances can last on you from about 8 to 12 hours. They have really high concentration. This one I think is Eau de Parfum. Yes, this is Eau de Parfum, and this is 80% volume. So this does last a good little while on your skin and on your clothing as well too, and I get best longevity out of my Arabian fragrances, even more than my designer and some of my niche fragrances. And then this is an example of a body mist. So this is not going to necessarily last on you for about 6 or 8 hours. You may get about 2 to 4 hours out of something like this because it just does not have as much of an extract of the actual perfume, but more alcohol in the fragrance. So that is what it is for longevity. Sillage is how well you fill up the room and how much your fragrance spreads in the room. So sillage for me, It is important, but not as important. But I do like when persons can say, oh, I know you were in the room because you left your, your sillage, or you left your fragrance in the room. So that's what sillage is. So those are some of the important terminologies. Those are some of the categories that I like to tell persons about when it comes to fragrances. Now, another breakdown in terms of what you're buying. So you are going to have different categories of fragrances. So for example, this is a designer fragrance. This is considered a designer fragrance because this is made by the house of Burberry, and as you know, Burberry is a designer house. They make clothing, they make bags, they make shoes, and they also do make fragrances. So this is an example of a designer fragrance. This is Burberry Goddess. This is one of my favorite fragrances, one of my favorite purchases for 2023, and I absolutely love this. This is a spicy vanilla fragrance. So this is an example of a designer fragrance. This is Tarab Al Dahab. This is an example of an Arabian fragrance. So Arabian fragrances are definitely fragrances that are coming from the Middle East, whether it be Dubai, whether it be Kuwait, all of those places. This is definitely an example of a very, very good Arabian fragrance. This is Tarab Al Dahab, and I find that I have a larger collection of Arabian fragrances in my collection. For me personally, they just last longer, they're more affordable, and they do sometimes get the spot on for the dupes. This is Kayali, as I was showing you earlier. This is actually an example of a niche house. This is considered a niche because they have not partnered with any other. They're an independent house. They're not a designer. They're not a part of another group. They are just an independent house that makes their own fragrances. So this is a niche fragrance. Sometimes niche fragrances can be more on the expensive side. Another niche house that I like is Sphinx fragrances. So you can find those fragrances a lot more on the more expensive side, but they do smell really good, and majority of the time a lot of the niche fragrances do last very long. And then another category is celebrity fragrances. So celebrity fragrances are basically just fragrances that are made by celebrities. So for example, like I have fragrances made by Beyonce, by Rihanna, Sabrina Carpenter. You do also have other fragrances like by Nicki Minaj. So you will get those fragrances from time to time. Recently they have been upping the prices on celebrity fragrances. Once upon a time you could get like a celebrity fragrance for like $35. Now some celebrity fragrances are like $135, $200. I know recently Beyonce came out with C'est Noir. I haven't smelled it yet. It is definitely not the type of profile that I'm into, but that is one of the new celebrity fragrances that recently came out. Melanie Martinez also came out with a new fragrance as well too. So those are all examples of celebrity fragrances. So those are the different groups of fragrances that you can buy. You do also have fragrance oils that you can use as well too. This is an example of a fragrance oil. You can find them in bottles like this, or you can also find them in roller bottles as well. So guys, I hope this guide was helpful. I hope you were able to understand more of the terminologies and know you're able to shop and get the fragrances that you want for your collection. So please, if you have any questions, please let me know down below. I would definitely see how well I can help you, so you can narrow down the type of fragrances that you're buying, and you're not just buying every new release that you see or every release that persons are talking about. I know I had that problem personally, so hence why I really wanted to make this guide for you guys, so you have a guide as to how to purchase your fragrances or how to buy fragrances going forward. Thank you so much for stopping by this video, giving me a thumbs up, leaving your scent of the day, and also subscribing if you're new. So thank you again guys, and until the next video, bye my loves.